What if I told you that a significant injury just put the brakes on a potential blockbuster trade for the Warriors? As fans, we're all craving that star power to bolster our roster, but it seems fate has dealt us a tough hand. You won't believe how this recent development could shift the entire landscape of our season. Stick around as we dive into the latest news that could change everything for Golden State. Don't forget to subscribe and hit like to stay on top of all things Warriors. The Golden State Warriors are in a tough spot right now, and as a passionate fan, I can't help but feel a mix of frustration and hope. Sure, they pulled off an impressive win against the Minnesota Timberwolves recently, but let's not ignore the glaring fact that they've lost 6 out of their last 8 games. This inconsistency is difficult to swallow, especially for a team with championship aspirations. Now, I've been following the whispers around the NBA, and it's evident that the Warriors are still hunting for a star player. Shams Charania from ESPN reported that they're trialing Jonathan Kuminga as the new starting power forward, looking to provide more offensive support for Stephen Curry. It's a bold move, but is it enough to turn the tide? I'm honestly torn here. On one hand, I see the potential in Kuminga, but on the other, the pressure is mounting and fans are clamoring for a blockbuster trade. Speaking of trades, many fans, including myself, have been eyeing DeAnthony Melton's $12.8 million contract as a potential asset. There's been a lot of talk about the Warriors needing to make a significant move, especially with the possibility of acquiring a star like Brandon Ingram from the New Orleans Pelicans. Ingram seemed like the perfect fit, averaging 22.2 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 5.2 assists, and he's improved his three-point shooting dramatically this season. But then came the devastating news. Ingram suffered a significant ankle injury, and now his trade value has taken a hit. This injury is a game-changer, folks. With less than 2 months until the February 6th trade deadline, the likelihood of the Warriors acquiring Ingram just plummeted. It feels like a missed opportunity, especially since they could have pursued him during the offseason. Now, with Ingram sidelined, the Pelicans might not be inclined to trade him at all, which leaves us fans feeling a bit deflated. Let's be real here. This injury comes at a terrible time for everyone involved. The Warriors have been in dire need of another 20-plus point per game scorer to bolster their offense, and Ingram would have been that guy. But now we're left with questions. Is Kuminga enough to fill that void? Can the Warriors stay competitive without making a significant move? I'm not sure how I feel about the current direction of the team. What's even more concerning is the overall state of the Warriors roster. I can't shake the feeling that they're caught between a rock and a hard place. They have young talent and future draft assets, but is it enough to make a real splash? The frustration among fans is palpable, and I find myself wrestling with the idea of whether this is the right path for the team. And don't get me started on the defensive fit and the intricacies of a potential trade. It's a complicated situation, and I want to hear from you all. What do you think? Was targeting Ingram the best move, or do you believe the Warriors should focus on developing their younger players? I genuinely want to hear your thoughts on this. So, let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. How do you feel about the current state of the team? Are you hopeful for a trade? Or are you resigned to the fact that the Warriors might have to ride this season out with what they have? Moses Moody's knee injury continues to cast a shadow over the Golden State Warriors as they gear up for their crucial NBA Cup quarterfinal match against the Houston Rockets. In a game where the Warriors triumphed over the Timberwolves 114-106, it's hard to ignore the toll this victory took when Moody had to exit early due to a flare-up of left knee soreness. Only 5 minutes of action before being sidelined for the rest of the night is never a good sign, and we're left wondering about his status moving forward. Head coach Steve Kerr's post-game comments didn't provide much clarity, which is frustrating for fans eager to know how this might impact the team's playoff aspirations. All we know is that Moody's ability to contribute off the bench has been a real asset this season. He's averaging 7.4 points and 1.9 rebounds, with a three-point shooting percentage of 36.6%. That's solid production from a young player who's been a reliable piece of the puzzle. The Warriors clearly see his value, having extended his contract to a 3-year, $39 million deal this past offseason to keep him from hitting restricted free agency next summer. But now, with uncertainty hanging over Moody's availability, we have to assess how the Warriors might adapt. Kerr has shown flexibility in his lineups, opting for a smaller, quicker group that has breathed new life into their offense. The likes of Stephen Curry and Draymond Green leading the charge alongside Buddy Hield, Gary Payton II, and Jonathan Kuminga creates mismatches and a faster pace. But the question remains, can they sustain that success if Moody isn't in the fold? If Moody is indeed sidelined, expect to see deeper rotations. Players like Brandon Podziemski and Lindy Waters III could find themselves in the spotlight, receiving the kind of minutes that could be critical for their development and the team's success. It's a double-edged sword. While it provides an opportunity for the younger guys to step up, it also raises concerns about depth as the Warriors aim for a title run. So, will the Warriors be ready to face the Rockets without one of their key bench players? They've beaten Houston in both matchups this season, but we know the playoffs are a different beast. The Rockets will be looking to capitalize on any weakness, and without Moody, that could be a significant gap to fill. What's more, the Warriors' championship dreams hinge on their ability to overcome these challenges. They've built a strong foundation, but moments like this test the resilience of a team. As a passionate fan, I can't help but feel torn. Do we trust the depth of our roster to step up? Or will this injury derail our momentum heading into the postseason? I want to hear from you. How do you feel about Moody's injury and its potential impact? Do you think this team has what it takes to weather this storm? Personally, I'm feeling a mix of concern and cautious optimism. We've seen this team rise to the occasion before, but every injury brings a new set of challenges. As we await further updates from the Warriors' medical team, let's keep the conversation going. Share your thoughts and expectations in the comments below. How do you think the Warriors should adjust? And what does this mean for their playoff hopes? I want to hear your opinions on this situation because every voice matters in our community. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed the discussion, share it with fellow Warriors fans, and subscribe to the channel for all the latest updates. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're always in the loop with the most important news surrounding our beloved Golden State Warriors. Together, let's keep our fingers crossed for a speedy recovery for Moses Moody and a strong push towards the playoffs.